quiet melody of love. The town sat quietly by the sea, the ocean stretching endlessly beyond the horizon. It was a place where time seemed to slow, where the waves whispered secrets to anyone willing to listen. Emma had come here to escape the chaotic pulse of city life. At 28, she had left behind everything. She thought she wanted a high-powered career, the hustle of the city, and the people who had never truly seen her. She had arrived in this sleepy coastal town with nothing more than her violin, a few belongings, and a heart bruised from past mistakes. Liam, a photographer in his 30s, had lived in the town for years, capturing its natural beauty through the lens of his camera. He knew the place like the back of his hand, but something had always been missing. He had never found someone to share it with. He had often seen Emma around town, but never had the courage to speak to her. He watched her from a distance, drawn to the way she carried herself with such quiet grace, her eyes always focused on the world around her, yet distant. One evening, as the sun dipped beneath the horizon, Liam found himself walking along the cliffs near the edge of town, looking for the perfect shot of the setting sun. As he approached, a hauntingly beautiful sound reached his ears, a violin. It was as if the music was carried by the wind, its melody dancing with the waves. He followed the sound until he spotted her, Emma, sitting alone on the cliff's edge, her back to him, lost in her music. Liam's breath caught in his throat. The golden light of the sunset illuminated her face, her hair glowing like a halo. He couldn't help but watch, captivated by the delicate way her fingers moved across the violin's strings. He felt a pull, something he couldn't explain, urging him to approach her. "Sorry to interrupt," he said softly, stepping closer. "Your music. It's beautiful." Emma looked up, startled by his sudden presence. For a moment she simply stared at him, unsure of what to say. But then something about the sincerity in his eyes put her at ease. A small smile played at the corner of her lips. "Thank you," she replied, her voice soft but warm. "I didn't realize anyone was around." "I've been here for a while," Liam confessed. "I was just captivated by your music." They exchanged a few more words, awkward, but genuine before parting ways. Yet neither of them could shake the quiet connection they had felt. Over the next few weeks their paths continued to cross in the small town. Emma would play at the cliffs, and Liam would be there, camera in hand, capturing the world around him. Sometimes he would pause to listen, drawn by the music that seemed to echo the feelings he could never quite express. Every time they met, the silence between them grew more comfortable, the unspoken bond between them stronger. One day, as Emma played, Liam set his camera down nearby, his eyes focused on her. He had never taken a photo of her before, only of the scenery, but there was something about her, something about this moment, that he felt compelled to capture. He stepped closer, his camera lens catching the light in a way that made her music come alive. "You don't mind, do you?" he asked, holding up the camera. Emma hesitated for a moment, self-conscious. "I don't usually like being photographed." "I'm not taking pictures of you," Liam said gently. "I'm just trying to capture the feeling your music gives me. It's beautiful, Emma." The vulnerability in his voice caught her off guard. For the first time she felt a sense of peace in his presence, as if the walls she'd built around herself were slowly crumbling. Days passed, and their encounters became more frequent. They would share their thoughts on art, his photography, her music, and for the first time Emma found herself talking openly about her fears. She admitted that she hadn't performed in front of an audience in years, too afraid of judgment, too afraid of failing. Liam listened, understanding her in a way she hadn't expected. He, too, was afraid. Afraid of showing his work, afraid of risking vulnerability. They both knew how it felt to keep their passions hidden, to avoid stepping into the unknown. One evening, as they sat together on the cliffs, the sunset painting the sky with vibrant hues, Liam made an unexpected suggestion. "There's an art show in town next month. Maybe you'd consider performing there. I can help set it up, take some photos, even play a few of your pieces for the guests." Emma's heart raced at the thought. "Perform in front of people? I don't know if I can." "Why not?" Liam asked, his voice soft but insistent. "You don't have to be perfect. You just have to play, and I'll be there. I'll help." Her mind spun. She had spent so long hiding, so long running from the idea of sharing her music with others. But as she looked at Liam, his eyes filled with quiet encouragement, something shifted inside her. Maybe it was time to face the fear that had held her back for so long. Maybe it was time to take a risk. "You're right," she said, her voice barely a whisper. "What if I fail? What if you succeed?" Liam countered, his gaze never wavering. "What if this is the start of something amazing?" The weeks leading up to the show were filled with nerves, self-doubt, and moments of second-guessing. But each time Emma felt herself faltering, she remembered Liam's words, his quiet belief in her. And somehow, despite the fear, she found the courage to practice, to prepare, to step into the spotlight. The night of the show arrived, and Emma stood backstage, her hands trembling around the neck of her violin. The small crowd gathered in the art gallery, the atmosphere electric with anticipation. Liam was there, of course, his camera at the ready, his presence a calming anchor in the chaos. He caught her eye from across the room and smiled his smile full of pride, of love, and of unspoken support. When Emma stepped onto the stage, the world seemed to quiet. The nerves were still there, but they didn't control her. She lifted her violin and began to play. The sound that filled the room was both haunting and beautiful, a melody that spoke of all the feelings she had kept hidden for so long. Each note seemed to connect her to the audience, to Liam, to the world around her. It was as if she was no longer alone. The applause that followed was overwhelming, but Emma didn't feel shy or embarrassed. She felt alive, empowered. And as the last note lingered in the air, Liam stepped forward, offering her a bouquet of flowers he had picked from a nearby garden. "You did it," he said, his voice filled with admiration. Tears welled in Emma's eyes as she accepted the flowers. "I never thought I could, but I did." They stood there for a moment, the two of them surrounded by the warmth of the crowd, the music still echoing in the air. And for the first time in a long time, Emma felt like she had found someone who truly understood her. Later, as the night wound down, they found themselves back at the cliffs. The stars above seemed to shine brighter than ever, and the sound of the ocean filled the space between them. "I think this is the beginning of something beautiful," Emma said, her voice quiet but certain. Liam smiled, his heart full. "I think it is." And in that moment they both knew that the quiet melody of their love had just begun, a song that would carry them through the unknown, together,